The mock drafts continue to play out as we get you set for the 2020 NFL Draft. He is John Schmeelk. I'm Lance Medow. So let's take you through some of the players that have been mocked to the New York Giants. And John, let's start with a player that has been mocked more often than not to the New York Giants, and that is a guy in the trenches out of Alabama. Dane Brugler out of The Athletic has already placed him with the 4th overall pick, and it's Jedrick Wills, the offensive tackle out of Alabama.
Yeah, underclassman, came on really strong in the second half of the year. He's considered by some as the top offensive tackle in the draft, but he was not the only offensive tackle mocked to the Giants. Tristan Wirfs, an offensive tackle from Iowa, was mocked to the Giants, and though not in this series that we had on Giants.com, Andrew Thomas, an offensive tackle from Georgia, another offensive tackle considered a top 10 selection that could be in the mix for the Giants, who had a couple veteran tackles in Nate Solder and Mike Remmers last year, might try to get younger at the position.
And it's no surprise to see an Alabama offensive lineman go early in the draft. Remember, last year was Jonah Williams, who went to the Bengals. Unfortunately, he missed the entire season with a torn pectoral muscle. Let's go to another notable name. Mel Kiper has the Giants taking Isaiah Simmons, the very versatile linebacker, John, out of Clemson.
Yeah, Giant fans were very excited watching Simmons in the national championship game against LSU and in the college football playoffs overall. As you mentioned, a versatile player. He can play deep. He can play slot corner. He can play linebacker. He's the epitome of that modern-day linebacker.
Yeah, when you look at his numbers this season, 16.5 tackles for loss. He had 8 sacks, 3 interceptions. He does a little bit of everything. Moving forward, Jeffrey Okudah, the cornerback out of Ohio State, and the Buckeyes certainly have had a number of key secondary players taken in recent drafts.
Yeah, it's almost turning into defensive back university. And even though the Giants did draft a lot of defensive backs in last year's draft, if you can get a true shutdown level corner, I don't care how high you have to draft him. He has to be an option, and that's what Jeffrey Okudah looks to be out of Ohio State.
His interception numbers don't jump off the page. He actually had his first 3 picks this season, John.
Of course, you have to throw at him in order for him to get an interception,
Indeed.
right?
Well, what I was going to say is, though, 17 passes defense, so he's still been very active around the football. Our last name, Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver out of Alabama, an explosive playmaker for the Rolling Tide.
Yeah, no question about it, and not the only wide receiver that was mocked to the Giants in this rollout of drafts. From Pro Football Focus, they had CeeDee going to the Giants. So people looking for an explosive playmaker to complement already a very good group of playmaker on the Giants. Saquon Barkley can catch it out of the backfield. Evan Ingram, an explosive tight end. Then Sterling Shepard, Golden Tate, and Darius Slayton, a draft pick last year. Somebody else that looks to be an improving playmaker on the outside. And one of the players that got mocked, the first time I've seen it, Epenesa from Iowa, a pass rusher that someone had going to the Giants at 4. Little high, but we'll keep an eye on it. The Giants, of course, do need to add some pass rush next year.
And speaking of Jeudy, he won the Fred Biletnikoff Award as a sophomore in 2018, the best wide receiver in college football. It is never too early to get those mock drafts ready for the 2020 NFL Draft. He is John Schmeelk. I'm Lance Medow, and always stay locked to Giants.com for the latest.
Hey, Giants fans, Saquon Barkley here. You want to see more videos? Subscribe below.